Fortune, parenting teens coach, and mentor in the field of youth development, education, and value based living. With a passion for guiding young individuals toward a path of self discovery and fulfillment. Tope Fortune has a passion for helping teens and young adults navigate the complexities of adolescence. Tope Fortune has extensive experience working with young people in various capacities, from teaching and mentoring to writing and speaking. Her deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities that teenagers encounter during this crucial phase of life has driven her to create an academy with the mission to inspire and equip young individuals to live a life that is rich in meaning, self discovery, and positive impact. She is the author of Life's Compass, a guide that provides the necessary tools and insights to help young readers make decisions that are aligned with their core values, beliefs, and aspirations. She also trains parents of preteens and teenagers to help them navigate teen years adequately. She is the founder of Adolescent Academy, a mentoring and personal development outfit for adolescents and their parents, contributing to building humans who will become thriving adults who are change drivers. She is happily married to a medical doctor, Dr. Fortune, and they are blessed with four amazing children. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Young and Empowered Children Conference 2026. Coach Tope Fortune.
Mrs. Alushima Shapira is the Central Director at Blossom Nursery and Preschool, Abu Dhabi. She has worked with children, educators, and families for many years, helping create happy and exciting places where children can learn through play, creativity, and exploration. She loves stories, art, nature, music, and setting up beautiful activities that help children discover new ideas and express themselves. She believes every child is special, curious, and full of amazing ideas. Her favorite part of the day is seeing children smile, explore, create, and grow in confidence while feeling safe, loved, and inspired. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Young and Empowered Children's Conference 2026. Mrs. Alushima Shapira.
Emmanuel Ogabidu is a dedicated early years specialist, education consultant, and accomplished school administrator, serving as head of administration and lead guide. With a strong passion for foundational learning, he has built a career centered on nurturing young minds and empowering educators to deliver meaningful early childhood experiences. He earned his Nigerian certificate of Education (NCE) before obtaining a degree in educational psychology from University of Abuja. His academic background provides him with deep insights into child development, learning processes, and evidence-based instructional strategies. Emmanuel has pursued extensive professional development to remain at the forefront of contemporary education. His certifications and trainings include Jolly Phonics, Preschool Montessori, Creative Based Learning, Techniques for Professional Class Leadership, Leading in the 21st Century School, Innovation and Learning in the 21st Century, Integration of Technology in Learning, and the Montessori International Diploma, among others. These qualifications reflect his commitment to blending traditional early childhood principles with innovative technology enhanced practices. As the founder of the Early Years Resource Hub, Emmanuel is devoted to equipping teachers and parents with practical tools, research informed strategies, and creative resources that make teaching and learning engaging, impactful, and developmentally appropriate. Through mentorship, training, and resource development, he continues to champion playful, purposeful learning environments where children can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Driven by excellence and a vision for transformative Driven by excellence and a vision for transformative early education, Emmanuel remains committed to strengthening the capacity of educators and inspiring a lifelong love of learning in every child he serves. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Young and Empowered Children Conference 2026. Mr. Emmanuel Ogabidu.
It doesn't seem like Omoya is here. So we're going to jump right into the session. All right, so parents, this session is very interactive. It's meant to be as interactive as possible. We have three great people here, great professionals, passionate people, and as I said, people who know their onion. Now we are going to be going through different aspects of, children's growth, especially when it has to do with children between ages 0 and 12. So we have introduced our moderators. Sorry, our panelists. We have Mrs. Aloyshima Shapra. I'm not sure, is Mrs. Aloyshima in the house? Okay. We also have Mr. Aloyshima is right here. We have Mr. Emmanuel Ogabidu, and then we have Coach Tokwe Fortune. I want to celebrate these people. They have been here on standby for the last 2 days, waiting to do this. Thank you so much. I honor you, Sir and Maz. All right, so my questions ready. All right, so we're going to jump right into the business of the day. And all right, are we going to unmute them? So we're going to be as informal as possible since we are on Zoom and we are all in each other's face and all of that. So I'm going to go right in if I have my questions. Do I have them up there? All right, give me a minute, please. Okay, then. Okay, so we're talking about children, as I said, from age 0 all the way to age 12. The different things that happen in their life, the transitions that we see in the lives of these children over the years. And these panelists as educators, curriculum coordinator, and then, of course, Coach Topper, who is a coach and also a passionate parent. They're going to be sharing their experiences with us, what they have tried, strategies that they have used in their parenting, and struggles that they have had. Because as we say in the mastermind circle, when I talk to the parents, I say everything we do here is practical and hands-on. So we are tired of all the many informations. We want to get to the point where we know what to do with the information that we have. So I'm going to start with Mr. Ogabidu. All right. So, sir, I want to ask, right, from your experience as an educator, someone who is highly experienced for that matter, right? How do children change as they grow from toddlers through school age and then into their teens? Yes. What are the changes that as parents the one we see, we shouldn't be afraid or worried. We just take it that it is normal, right? And how does school support parents through these different stages? Yes, sir, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for the opportunity to share So to go straight to the question, of course, children from age 0 to 10 and above, they go through rapid and transformational changes that, if not carefully observed and heeded, can take a lot of parents unaware. Like, for example, children from birth to age 3, they absorb their environment unconsciously. So at this stage, there is very little parent can do to teach their children, because what they do, either positive or negative, children are absorbing it without filtering it. So as children begin to grow and evolve, they begin to manifest those things they observe. These are telling signs as to what children have absorbed and what they are trying to demonstrate. And of course, parents are shocked when they see their children do certain things, because they'll be like, wow, when did you learn this? Who taught you this? And all of that. Again, when children transition into school again, now, school with their expertise, they understand some of these rapid changes. It is very important that the school and the home are in a symbiotic relationship, in the sense that the school shares information with parents and parents share information with their the child's school. Now, as children move from sensorial explorers, using their senses to absorb and interpret their environment, then they gradually move to logical thinkers. Now, well, when they come to this logical thinker, they start asking questions about their world. Now, of course, when they get to this stage, people see them as being rude, being audacious, and be overconfident. Now, it's important that during this phase, we encourage their curiosity and carefully answer their questions, because they are developing into a functional human being that wants to be engaged in their society. Now, these are telling phases, and when they get to their teen age, it becomes is a new phase of evolution, where they now start having identity crisis. Now, at this stage, mentoring and modeling is very important, because at this stage, children just want to live what you have been telling them, right? They want you to live what you want them to do. So, like they said, do as I do, not as I say. Now, it is very critical at this stage that parents consciously model and guide their children. Of course, people interpret this stage as a rebellion stage. It is not, because children begin to question what their parents have been telling them. Again, if you are not a conscious parent, this is a turbulent phase, in the sense that you become confused, because you'll be wondering, oh, when did this child move from being an obedient child in quotes to one who want to question my authority, question the society, and demand certain responsibility from everybody. Again, our consciousness and sound knowledge of children and how they evolve and develop is very important. If not, many parents miss it at this stage, and it becomes difficult for them to regain their hold on their children. Sorry, I can't hear the audio. I don't know, it's from my end.
You have to be alert, please. Okay, sorry, I was muted. I said, so let's go right to Coach Topper, right? Because she's giving us like real what is happening at home perspective in this conversation, right? So, and then Topper has 4 children, all under has said, so what makes the home the advantage needs in all of this, with the children absorbing from their environment and all of that, the home happens to be one of the biggest environments. So, what can we do as parents to make the home an advantage?
Okay, thank you so much, Coach Mary Beth, for the opportunity. Thank you so much for everything. I mean, it's been a wonderful conference back to back. All right, back to the question, right? So the home is the biggest advantage for every child, right? Because to me, I see the home as being the first curriculum. The home is the first base of the child, and everything the child's learn. The home is just like a springboard from for the child. Talk about emotional regulation, talk about discernment, everything that surrounds a child's development starts from the home. Now, how a child responds to um, emotional distress, how a child views security, how values are being formed, all of these should be taught and learned from the home. However, unfortunately, you see that a lot of children these days don't have that advantage because the home where they are growing up is now at a disadvantage level. Now, the home, every parent must strive to ensure that their homes is the first environment because it's the first contact of that child, and whatever it is the child the value system the child is setting for themselves, they are learning, they can how to make friends, how to talk, how to behave, how to the home front. They say charity begins at home. Okay, so the home front is where these learnings and these things are not only being taught but as well as modeling. The home is where these things are being modeled. How you as the parent, whatever you are doing, how you are doing it, the mannerism with which you are carrying these things is a reflection of how your child is going to become. So that is why we always say that parenting is first about you. Excuse me, and the home is that environment that gives the child the advantage or the disadvantage, in the reverse, how the child is going to turn up in the future.
So much, Tokwe, for that. All right, so let's come to you, Miss Alueshima. Miss Alueshima is a curriculum coordinator. Like she creates curriculum for schools, for for individuals and all of that. So when you talk about what to put together, right, to get children through a system for us to achieve the things you want to see in them, then Mr. Lueshima is the best person to go to. Because we say if you want to see a change in a human being, pass them through a curriculum, isn't it? All right. So, Alo, I'm going to ask you. I have young children in my home. This is a bit of what we have. I have little children in my home, 0 to 5. And I know that the environment is all of this that we're talking about. What are the simple things? Give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 simple things that we should put in place if we want to see these people that we want them to become, if we want to see them become that. Please give us simple steps or simple things for children this age. Yes, ma'am. She's muted.
Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am. Sorry.
Great. Good evening, Mary. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be on here. So, Mary, you were asking about what practical skills that we can use at home to change the home environment. Like you said, I'm someone that has worked with different curriculums. So, for me, one of the things that really inspired me is something also that Tokwe spoke about. I would think about, I will be intentional about the home environment. Sometimes as parents, we think about aesthetics. Where am I going to keep a vase? Where am I going to keep the lounge mirror, the pictures? But I don't think about how I'm going to set up the environment to invite my child to explore, to be curious, to ask questions. So the first thing I would do is I would do an audit of my home. How have I put out the materials in my home? Can my children easily reach the books, or the books are up on a shelf? Can my children, if I'm inviting them, because we know, like, for instance, the Montessori approach uses a practical life skills. and I want my 5 and 6-year-old to join me in the kitchen to cook. So do I have the materials at a level where the child can easily pick them up and use them? Now we are thinking, I want to empower the child before the world does. So first and foremost, I should be thinking about my home environment. How is it empowering? Have I put things in a place that the children can actually reach them? And am I thinking of my environment as a teacher, or I'm just thinking about my environment as a house? How have I set up the sitting and relaxing environment? Tokwe mentioned emotional regulation. Do I have a space in the house when my 4 or 5-year-old feels overwhelmed? They can go to that calming corner and they can sit down and it's calm. There's a book. There's something for them to touch and feel, for them to just distress. So I need, the first tip I would give to parents is go back in, take a look at your space. Does it allow my child to be able to explore, to be able to emotionally deregulate, to be able to critically assess? Do I have a space where I can connect with them and have conversations with them? So these are the first tips that I would like to share.
Whoa. So if you're paying attention and you are listening to Miss Alu, I don't know why I'm calling her Miss Alu. She's a Mrs. But you know how it is, teachers. We call every teacher Miss. All right. So if you have listened to Miss Alu, she has told you 3 things that you can do. So first of all, you want to make sure that the things that your children need to navigate are at the level where your children can reach them independently without them needing you. So that's where your child can self-teach. That's where your child can self-direct, and the child does not need to be micromanaged. She also said there's, there's a need for emotional balance. So when your child is emotionally, in a place that is not right, is your child able to understand how they are feeling? And is the child able to use the resources you have in your environment to calm themselves? I remember we used to have a reading nook in the house, right? For the longest time when the children were younger. And we do that even in the reading challenge. My children will go, my daughter slept in that nook like most of the times. Every time I have to go and carry her from the nook to her bed, I have endless pictures of her. Sometimes she's reading a book and then she sleeps off. Their friends will even come home to visit them, and then the first place they'll take them to is the reading nook. So before you know it, while the kids are in the house, they end up reading books. So the TV doesn't come on because the nook is exciting. It's got a lot of lights, it's got beautiful things, puff pillows and teddy bear and all of that. So parents of toddlers, if you are here, expo, start taking and running, with it. We even have a program, our challenges. We even have a challenge that we do for creating, stimulating environments in your home. I think that comes up in June. All right, so you should look out for that, dear parents. All right, so let's come back to you, Mr. Ogabido. All right, so this one is back to the home. So beyond academics, where and how can parents come in to help their children develop skills, character, as they grow from young learners into teenagers? Okay, we've just talked about toddlers. Let's move a notch for parents of older children. So how can we come in as parents to help them move, as they move from being school age children to becoming, teenagers? So that's 7, 8, 10, 12. Yes, sir.
Okay, so quite an interesting question. Again, the early foundation we design for our children is telling. Is telling in the sense that as they transform into teenagers, it informs their choices, what they tilt towards and what they do consistently. So how can parents help their children grow in character as they move from young learners into teenagers? Again, modeling is very important, and there's an African culture that we have unconsciously dumped over time. What is that culture? The culture of helping around the house, right? So we shield our children from doing the things that makes us human. the things that makes us feel fulfilled and live as functional adults. Now, these things are not only building children, they are helping them to understand the world, how to function in the world, and how to engage with the world. So, as they grow, it is important we provide deliberate opportunity. Number one,
Mm,
for them to make choices, right? Give them a list of tasks and allow them take on the tasks, prioritize the tasks. Because as you are doing this, you're not only preparing them for performing tasks in the home, you are helping them to look at their academics and know what should come first and what should follow afterwards. Now, number two is emotional coaching. You see, we shield children from a lot of things when they go into the world. Again, the world does not understand if you are ready or not. The world just take
it
you, is
doesn't.
it? So if you're not ready, the world deals with you. So it's important that instead of shielding children, it's important you talk about emotions, right? Don't shield conflict. Sit down and talk about conflict. Model conflict resolutions. These things are not
Mm,
taught in school. Nobody teaches them in school. All we are focused on is academic, academic, academic. Again, when children go to school, they face conflict with their peers, with their classmates, with people outside. So it's important to know when to walk away and when to stand up. Again, this is very important. Delayed gratification. Again, we live in a world where our senses are searching for a lot of things. So these trainings are important. When children come from a home, it is important that they understand that delaying gratification does not mean you're going to miss it. It means you will get it when you are ready physically,
mm,
emotionally. So it's important we model and show them this is again beyond saying parents need to start living what they want their children to live because they are
mm,
showing them what the world expects and what the world also reward. Then lastly, empathy, right? Empathy is something that a lot of things don't understand. Go on social media, they just throw bad goals, they don't give a damn how people react to it. Depression is on the rise because is the world is if you are ready, you take everything. But again, it doesn't work that way. So it's important that
mm,
parents model empathy. Now, you don't model empathy by saying it, right? You show it by the way you react to what they do, how they feel, when they do it, and how they do it. Now, quickly, volunteering as a family is also important. Many families are not together. Now, we don't reflect what we want our children to live. We're in a hurry to just move on with our life. Again, these skills are not taught in school. Schools are not in the mood to teach this thing. They are more on 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, physics, and all of that. So we need to
mm,
model what it means to volunteer, what it means to commit time to helping people in need, what it means to actually contribute to the society without expecting things from the society. Now we're not only showing them what they will gain, we're asking them to develop character that will one
mm,
help them sustain their time in the world, two, contribute meaningfully. And again, as a parent, when we see our children modeling those simple things that help the society be a better place, we fulfill and we're happy that yes, we have helped our children to understand the world, live in the world, and also function in the world.
wow, fantastic. I'm loving this. Dear parents, are you loving this? Because I mean, the chat room is there. Oh, please join in the conversation. All right. We'll have time for questions, but you can join in the conversations, in the chat room. Come say, I hope the chat room is open. We had to do this impromptu, and this is the studio we use for the children of the mastermind circle. So everything is disabled, disabled so that the children can focus when they are in class. All right. So thank you so much. That was really very powerful, Mr. Ogabidu. So it takes me back to when we were preparing for this conference, right? So when I got the vision for this conference, I used to run conferences for parents, okay, and then at some point, the spirit told me I didn't move from doing conferences for parents and do conferences that will involve the children and all that. And what I heard was a conference for children by children, where children have children they are listening to, and the children get the chance to start, serving. So for some children, this is the first opportunity that they had to really come out and say, I want to do something. So the moderators, the what do you call them? The voice, those who did the voicing for the bio, and even the ones who did the testimonials, every single one of them volunteered that they wanted to. And that's it. We need to start when these children are young, just as Mr. Ogabidu said. From 3, 4, 5, let your children know that they can do things without asking for returns or favors and all of that. These days, because everybody is learning money knowledge, money intelligence, financial intelligence, you realize you even tell them, clean the fridge, and they ask you, how much will you pay me? People are in that space because we are now saying, oh, money, intelligence. So everybody wants money. So please, parents, let the children volunteer. Let the children understand that they should do. Very key. Very, very key. So, Papa, let's come to you again. So, this time, I want us to be practical about the challenges that parents have, around these things. So, I'm asking, what are some of the most common challenges that parents face when raising children today? And what practical strategies have you used that worked or worked for you that you want to share with the parents today?
Okay. Thank you so much, Coach
You can give us like
Marybeth.
two like that, or
Yeah.
three.
Okay. All right. So one of the biggest challenges today that a lot of parents face is uh, I like to call them external influences, especially
Hmm.
from the digital space. You see social media, peer pressure, Mr. Emmanuel made mention of the lack of delayed gratification, which I would like to call instant gratification, and
Hmm.
overstimulation from screen. All these things, when put together, they are creating a lot of havoc in parenting systems. Like back then, it wasn't like that. It wasn't even as high as this. But right now, it's not becoming a lot of problem because before you say one, you are faced with one, two, three, four, five, even more of these challenges. And another challenge that I think a lot of parents are finding it difficult is being physically present in their children's life because
Hmm.
of how the society has been, warped. We now have this sense of, oh, I need to go out and look for money. You see mother, father going out and spending more time outside the home where, and before they come back, it's already late in the night. No conversation, nothing, no depth, no in-depth relationship between the parents and the children. Instead, the children are being faced with overstimulation from screen, social media pressure, peer pressure, because they interact with this with their peers a lot, and then they are not being taught on how to form their own values. They don't even have a
Hmm.
family value system in place for them at the first at even the first time. So what has worked for me intentionally is we intentionally created our own family value system right from the beginning. We created this, and it has been our guide even when I am a parent here, and when I'm not, let's say one of our family value is empathy is our watchword, and whenever I overstep it, I yell, and then my daughter will say, "Mom, empathy is our watchword. Remember, we are the fortunes." These things guide us. It's our DNA. But a lot of homes don't have it, and children are not being taught, they are not given a blueprint on how they are expected to become. No
Hmm.
template, no physical template, no tangibility to these things. They don't even know who they should become. They don't
Hmm.
understand this. Instead, they listen to outside pressure. They see what is going on in their environment, and children are like sponges. They just pick up what is being done because the parents are not there. Another thing that has helped me is creating a safe space for conversation. We do this a lot. We have a lot of conversation. It's one of our rituals. We do it a lot. We have conversations. If you see the way I have conversations with my children, you think they're adults. I show them my plans, even my when I'm having challenges with something, I discuss with them. And this give them this emotional safe zone that the home
Hmm.
is where safety is. All my children, even if they run into trouble in school, they don't they the only thing that comes into their mind is they are coming home. Home is where safety is. And they don't even wait. They come and say, Mom, Dad, oh, I ran into trouble today. This. They don't hide things from us because they feel they are well emotionally, but their emotional bank is full. But you see that so many parents, they don't even have time for themselves, not to talk of even feeding the emotional bank of their children. Another thing I think that I have done is setting clear boundaries with love and warmth. As children are growing up, you need to set boundaries and also train them that boundaries are meant to keep them safe from harm. Boundaries, teach them how to set healthy boundaries while you also create healthy boundaries between the both of you in the home, and everybody respect that value. Lastly, I would say every parent should learn how to stay actively involved in their children's life. Active, when I mean actively involved, you are there. You are there. You are not, even when you are in the home, your presence is felt. You have meaningful conversations. You are there. The children understand that yes, mommy and daddy, they are here for me. And this home is where it is called a home.
Thank you
So
so much, Tope. So please, before we continue, going to come back to what Tope said. See, so in our world, in the mastermind and in everything that we do, the children come first all the time. So my Omaya is here, and she was supposed to be one of the moderators. So I'm going to allow Omaya just say something nice to the parents. Omaya, don't turn on Omaya's camera because I don't. We'll upload this on YouTube eventually. Let them not bring this one down again and say, so Amoya, if you're in the house, can you say something to celebrate your parents and wish them a good time? Amoya Adoga, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, say something to celebrate your parents.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Amoya.
Um, I am the moderator for today's conference, and I want to tell the coach speaking, well done, that she has she has said a lot of things, and I've learned a lot from what she has said. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Amaya. So you need to run away now. This is mommy's session, not your session. So Amaya happens to be one of the young, when she came to the mastermind, she was the youngest that came in that year. She was about 4 and she came in. And Amaya has been with us for 3 years, I think. She's about 7 now, So it's been such a beautiful thing watching her grow over the years, just like many other of these children. So yes, so as Tokpa was talking, you can tell that Tokpa has created a safe zone for conversations in our home. I remember when I had kids are in the mastermind, by the way, 2 of them. So I remember when Asha, the oldest one, had to come to my situation room one of those times. The kids come when they have something to say to me, to tell me. And he said, Mommy has been on my case for too much these few days. I started like, Mommy has been on my case, and I need you to tell her to just step back a bit soon, So when children can express themselves that way, and they know they can even send me to their parents, so you will know that they have a zone that is safe for conversations and things like this. I was telling the children yesterday how my daughter and I had a small situation, and she wanted me to do something for her, and I'm like, no, it's not happening. And then she was still there. And the next thing, I stopped talking to her. I was doing what I was doing. I was singing. And she said, you see, now you are doing it. Then when you talk to me and I'm humming, you say it's disrespectful, but you are doing it. I had to stop. I'm like, okay, Auntie, no verse. I'm really very sorry. I shouldn't be. But I just want to reiterate that the answer is no. And she's like, better. So that's it. So leave that space for conversation with these children, and you'll be doing yourself and them a lot of good. Because if they can't talk to you at home, their parents, they will not talk outside. Because they feel children can't talk to adults. After all, they can't talk to you. All right, so let's run to Miss Alu. We'll try and round this in the next 15 minutes. So it's 5:30 to 6:30 because we have another session for the children. Okay, please, admin, let the children know, or in the group, let them know that the next session is at 6:30, please. All right. So, Miss Alu, we've been talking about, that environment. You are the environment queen. So we're coming back to you. Right. So, what are the most important? No, no, no. We talked about that life skill. There's something I wanted to ask you about digital world, right? Okay. So, yes, in today's digital world, how can parents create a home environment that keeps children curious, engaged, and less dependent on screens? Since this screen wants to finish us, please, ma'am. Unmute Miss Alu, please.
Yes, thank you so much for that question, Mary. So the best way to create an environment at home that will reduce the consumption of screen time is to always think about how I can use real and authentic materials in my environment. And a second tip I will give to parents is sometimes we're telling the children, get off the iPads, but what alternatives are you giving them? Provide things that your child is interested in. So you need to know what are your child. We are different. Just like if myself and Mary Beth were to be together, there are certain things that interest her. There are certain things that interest me. So if you want to create a home environment where you are reducing the screen time, then use of interest-based diversion really does work. It's a very powerful tool. Once I know the interest, for instance, my son likes to build Lego. So what I do when I want to reduce that screen time is I bring a Lego challenge. Let's create a city. Let's do something. This is his interest. Naturally, he will jump on it. He will go to it. My 13-year-old is interested in cooking. All I need to say is, what can we cook, or which recipe from another country are we looking at? So she will get on it immediately. She will look for a recipe and she will do it. So this is one of the ways that we can go. Interest-based. I said use of real and authentic materials. Sometimes as parents, we think that maybe the only way that we can get the children to learn is when maybe we're giving like sheets or we're using books, but real life situations can also be used as distraction from screen. And Tucker said sometimes when she has a problem, she invites them into solving that problem. That's a real and authentic situation. And you will find that the children will be diverted from the screen time. At that time, they will get on board solving the problem. We set up a play invitation in the class using Goldilocks and the Three Bears, if you know that story. We broke the chair, we poured some porridge on the floor, we made a mess, we created a bed. Now, the 3 to 4-year-olds, they were outside playing. When they came inside, they saw this situation set up. We needed to solve this problem. Who came here? Who broke the chair? Who made a mess? We started investigating. Goldilocks has hair. We put yellow yarn for hair. We put a dress. We put like different clues for them to find out. This is a real and authentic situation. They were so invested in finding out who created this. So we use that real situation. As parents, we can use real and authentic materials at home also. We don't need to go and start spending money saying like we're buying things, but think, what do I have in the house here that is real that I can work with? Another way to go if we want to divert the attention is, what is your routine? Or another word we like to use is, what is your home reading? What is your routine? Because sometimes as parents, we just think children should know what should come next. We don't have like a routine. When is the time when we are sitting for lunch? When are we sitting for dinner? When do we read? When do we play games? When do we do gardening? When do we do cooking? When are we doing the dishes, as Mr. Gabi just said? When are we giving them real things to do? What is your home reading? So another way to distract children from the use of digital screen is have a routine or home reading. It will help you a lot. It will help you from diverting them. Then for curriculums like the Waldorf that believe in outdoor play and the use of imagination, they always create opportunities for children to
please.
go outside. And we are finding, remember how we used to play? We are doing less and less of that for our children because of how things are now. So leverage on the outdoor play. Make sure they are going outside. If you have someone to be with them, or be deliberate, be creating the time for them, no matter the age, whether it's kicking a ball, playing outside, running hoops, hide and seek. Let them get that movement. Even in the British EYFS, physical play, it's a huge thing. So we should be working on that. So these are just some of the tips I can share for reducing screen time. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. And sometimes when we hear these things, we always think, oh, it's a school thing, right? That's what it means to be creative as a parent. You can recreate these things in your home environment. You can, I was telling someone the other day, I said when our son, that time he was doing the science videos and all of that, do you know that started from the fact that we would get styrofoams? Do you remember that time? And we would create all kinds of things. My son and I created a full skeleton, like skeleton from head to toe, with every joint, every bone, everything in the body of the skeleton. So imagine that you sit down to a project like creating a skeleton with the joints, phalanges, every part of it. The time that goes into that. So we were busy every day for days or in weeks, So that's the way to get them off the screen. It's not you like television too much. Give me that remote control. You hide this one today. You hide that one tomorrow. When you are not there, you see me back to it. All right, so let's come to you again, Mr. Ogabidu. That's probably going to be, we're coming close to, the end of this. So, in your experience, what does a strong relationship between parents and school look like, especially during the key transition, years of a child's early adolescence, So we're dealing with these older ones now. So how can the school, if for any phase at all, how can we partner, right, the school and parents so that we ensure these children don't get lost? Yes, sir. Mr. Ogabidu is frozen. I think his internet probably went off because I think he has a power cut or something like that. Okay, so while we're waiting for him to get back on screen, let's come back to talk. Let's come back to you, talk. So let's look at what now. All right. So on the flip side, right, since we're about to round off, can you share with us, Tokwe, some of your biggest, some of your how did I put it here? I said some of your biggest wins or success stories, right, from parenting your children over the years. What are some of those things that parents will see that will shake them, but you're saying to them, calm down, calm down. If you stay on this, you will come out and you will look like this when you come out. Please share with us, man.
Okay. Thank you, Coach Mary. Okay, so how do I start? There's so much, right? But I'm just going to taper them, right? One of the biggest win for me is my children identifying their talent from early age is the biggest win for me. And I'll say my 5-year-old started cooking from 3 years old when he was 3.
Mhm.
2 years ago. He just clocked 5 and he started cooking. I mean, among all my children, he's the one that is best when it comes to kitchen duties. Now,
Uh-uh.
that aside, that aside, my children read like it's food everywhere, and it's not becoming a problem, like a good problem rather. Let me just put it that way, because we have intentionally curated the environment with the things we would love to see. I love to read, my husband loves to read, but we knew that we cannot just parent our children out of assumption that, oh, because they see us reading, they should it should just become automatic for them. So we intentionally curated the environment from when they were very, very little. And everywhere in my house is littered with books. From the sitting room to their rooms to my room, everywhere in the car, everywhere is littered with books. So they fell in love with reading. And aside from that, the structure in the home, my daughter especially, she have seen herself a talent, and being in the mastermind also helped us curate what we want to see, the kind of vision we had for our family, right? So being in the mastermind every Friday, it's automatic now. They knew that, oh, it's skill of Friday. I need to harness my skill. I need to hone my skill. My children can actually man the house independently, even when I'm out of the picture. When I'm not there, they know what to do. We have routine. Miss Shapira was saying that, oh, what's the home reading and everything. And I was just smiling like, oh my God, thank God for being intentional anyways. So it has helped us. We have the structure that everybody knows what to do at the right time. You know that, oh, at 2 p.m. you are expected to do this, at 5 p.m. you are expected to do it. Everybody knows that. And if you don't even do it, you are the one that is going to suffer. There are consequences, natural consequences for it. And then, my children are always very self-motivated. It's not all about academics anyway, but where they're excelling, it's amazing, mind blowing. If you see where my almost 10-year-old is doing research, even me that I am an adult, I don't even come close to him, right? With research and how he's able to do a lot of stuff. My daughter can see herbs like, aloe vera, and know exactly what to do with certain herbs to cure certain things. And she's barely 8. And beyond that, the ability to live with that self-awareness, with that mindset to be able to know that, yes, I am an impact person. My life, whatever value I'm bringing to the table should impact the next person, is a win for me. And I've also seen a lot of parents um struggle with this, because what we usually focus on before then was academics. And the truth is, intentional parenting is beyond academics. I have seen my children grow in areas that have even that beyond my explanation. I don't even know how to, but what I will tell you is, when you intentionally raise children, you will see that they are not only intelligent, but they are also emotional, financial mindset rich. They are so wealthy in all other aspects of life that you will even marvel at the creation that God has given you to steward. Let me just stop for here now.
All right, thank you so much. Talking about books and all that. So we have, of course, I launch new books, almost every year, right? So we have a rush sale. That's what we call this for this conference, right? We have a rush sale that's coming up for my new books because yeah, books. The need for children to read books cannot be overemphasized. So we've done a 50% slash for all those who will be keying in and getting our books, our new books, right, during this sale. Just listen to this. Okay, I thought the team was going to play us a quick video before we come to the video. We're getting ready to round up, okay? Sorry, we didn't plan for Zoom. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. right. Can hear. All right. So I don't know if you heard that if I was loud enough. Anyway, we have our rush sale. That's what we call it. You can get my new books for 50% discounts, right? If you get it on Children's Day. So it's a Children's Day rush sale, right? Where you can get the books at 50%. It's not our flash sale, it's just a rush sale. So this is the best price that you can get our books, right? We will post in the group the link that you can use to get into the wait list. And that book, that list is available, and the rush sale is only for 24 hours. We're not even going to extend it by 1 second. 24 hours you can get our books. And then we have ebooks, strictly ebooks for toddlers and for adult, for what are they called? Preteens, right? So 10 of our guides, right? That should be about 20,000. We're giving it for 8,000 on that day. So you can get any of these, but you don't want to miss the new books. They're amazing, beautiful books that we have written this year. So, Mr. Agabido, please share with us, on how the school and parents can partner, right, to help us with these children, sir. So this will be our last word. Miss Alu will come and give us her last word, and we will round up the time. Please unmute Mr. Ogabidu, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ma, for the opportunity. Sorry, my network was interrupted earlier.
Yeah.
So I'll round up by answering the questions you asked me earlier. So a strong school partnership is predictable, is respectful, and is solution focused, because within this period, adolescents are bound to pull away from the significant adults around them. So it's important that parents communicate developmental changes and inform parents how to handle those changes, right? Avoid shaming them, avoid trying to make them feel like there's something they are doing wrong, because it is a we thing and not your child, our school thing, right? Then there needs to be a consistent parent-teacher conference where parents and teachers sit down across the table and talk about solutions to problem, and not trying to shame parent or shame the child. Because the thing with adolescents is that when they are looking for identity, the more you shame them, the more they pull away from you. And that is not the goal we are aiming at. We're trying to raise functional adolescents. So it's important that we maintain a relationship that is predictable, is respectful. This is very important, and is solution focused. Again, thank you very much, Mark, for having me in this session. I really appreciate this, and thank you to everyone for joining.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ogabidu. You've been so steady and so present for us. Every time we call, you show up. Miss Ali, what will be your last word? Because my children are waiting. They have a children's session. All right, what will be your last word, ma'am?
Okay.
Unmute Miss Alu, please.
Okay. So for me, my last words will be two things. Be intentional about your environment. I believe in the power of the environment. And when I'm saying environment, I'm not just talking about the physical environment, I'm talking about the emotional environment also. Once these are set, encourage your children to be critical thinkers. Do something we call sustained shared thinking. Allow your children think with you, solve problems with you, because it's all about the big takeaway from this conference is empowering our children. So if you want to do that, I would say to the parents, once the environment is set physically, emotionally, let the children be thinkers. This is how they will empower them. People will not just come and give them an ideology, because that part of their brain has been developed. They think decisions through. They are not just moving. So that would be my take. Thank you.
So, Miss Tokwe, Coach Tokwe, please, what would be your last word? I'm even calling you Miss. Please share with us.
Unmute.
Mr. Coach Tokwe, please, admin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, don't worry. I look like a mister. Okay. All right. So my last word, dear parents, right? As parents and guidance, I want you to know that you are building lives. And I want you to always remember that you are stewarding destinies. Your children's lives are destinies. What destiny are you seeing? What future are you seeing? When you look at your 2-year old, who will he or she become when they are 25 years old? I think you need to start from that end. And lastly, I just want to let you know that childhood is not just a phase for them to survive. It is a grounding phase. It is a background phase. It is a foundation to which they are going to spring up for success later in life. So that's all from me, from my end. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our moderators. Sadly, we cannot take questions in this session, but that's something we're going to do. You are either in the mastermind group or in the conference group. Dear parents, don't hold back on your questions. Go and drop them there. If I can't answer them, I will put the moderators on in the group. They will answer you in the group. Whether it's voice notes, whether it's text, they will answer in the group. Okay, don't hold back on your question. Don't keep them to yourself. Please share them in the group, because it's only when we ask questions that we get answers. Thank you, everyone who has been patient with us. You came all the way through every platform that we have taken you. We do not take your support and your trust for granted. To our moderators, can I thank you enough? I certainly cannot. Thank you very much. I honor you. I celebrate you. I love you. And thank you for sharing from the bottom of your heart. Have a fantastic rest of the day. We're going to go off, please. We will post the link again. Or admin, are we using the same link? Please get the children in here in the next 5 minutes, please. We will make it short for them, but they need to be at this session where another of our mastermind graduates will be sharing his experiences with them. Please let them come on. Parents, we have one last session. It will be at 7:30, I think. You don't want to miss it. If you know Dr. Molala, please carry your bag and come back. Carry your bag and come back here at 7:30. She's joining us from Australia. You don't want to miss that session. That will be our final session for today. I look forward to seeing all of you again. It's going to be on Zoom again. Zoom is our friend today. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you. Bye. Bye for now. Thank you.